All right, so it is the 21st of September, 2024. My name is Evan Strong, and I make videos like this, usually geared around the lacing of our shoes, the tying of our shoes, and the things within clothing, especially modern 2024 designs and man-made materials that just weren't even there in the past, just a few decades back. And I show free modifications within clothing you can make with nothing but a pair of scissors to just allow your clothing to work for you rather than trying to work around it, because we cannot tell our bodies what to do. That goes for I or he or she, meaning every human, okay? We are all universally designed in the image of our living God, who is Jesus Christ, and that is how I can speak for people. Same way you can go sit within an anatomy class and learn the human body, and it applies to everybody. A lot of times we don't think about the fact that the body is the skeletal system. I was talking to my mom about this last night because I wanted to kind of have her like almost challenge me a little bit, kind of throw things at me. What if people say this and that and that? I was asking her, right? Like, I just don't want to be making some kind of opinionated claims here. I don't want to give advice out of some kind of opinion, because I always talk about universal human design. I always say universal truth. I always say the things within the clothing and how it sits on the human body applies to every single human. And so I want that to be what it is, right? So I have a few prerequisites that I always state, and that is just to lace your shoes with my technique found within where my content is. It's multiple places in there. Where you're seeing this, you can find that video, those videos. There's multiple of them. Lace your shoes with my technique because it allows the shoe to fit on the foot like a glove does on the hand, okay? It's not my opinion of something. There's a universal shape to a natural human foot, and that's all my lacing technique does, is allow that to happen. So lace it that way and tie them even, outside over toward the inside, outside over toward the inside, okay? And I talk about internal rotation all the time. That's my focus, is internal rotation. That really is. If I could boil it all down to just one thing, it's internal rotation. And the way that I allow our bodies to have their natural rotations is through clothing. Okay, the way that I allow our bodies to have their natural strength is through clothing. The way that I allow our bodies to have their natural balance and any kind of function and energy and everything that a body would just do until altered is through clothing. So I want to be very clear that I understand people have different bodies, people have different heights, people have different widths, people got different amounts of fat content, and at different times in their life, people have different amounts of all sorts of things, okay? People also have their own situations, deformities and surgeries and things that happen. I know these things. But I want to make sure that people know that I know these things, because I sound pretty accusations sometimes, and I'm not being that way. But I got to be pretty bold when I make the claims like we should not have to stretch. Truth, I don't stretch. Okay, unless something very major happens. We should not have to exercise to get exercise in, and we should not have to be working out to work up to a capability level. I make these very bold claims, and so that's why I'm so stern with them, because they seem like some kind of blanket statement. They seem like something I have an opinion on. They're not. It is truth, and it is a universal truth of the human body in its universal human design. But I need people to know that I know these things. For the sake of, the only reason I'm sharing any of this is to help people, okay? And I'm going to be designing clothing that allows it to happen. And if it sounds too good to be true, people might just be like, he's just trying to sell me something. Well, as of current, and any video that I've posted up until now, over 65, 68 or 9 videos, today's the 21st of September, 2024, I mean, I'm just posting this stuff for free. I'm giving a ton of free information on things you can do within your own clothing, things that I have done. The way that my body's been able to get to where it is now is through just clothing I've purchased. It's nothing about, I haven't designed any clothing that I have been wearing as of yet, okay? These things are true. They are universal. And so when I get so bold with things, it's because we're told a lot of times in modern day world in 2024 that you need to go to a chiropractor, that you need to go to a physical therapist, that you need to go to a doctor and get a medication, and that you need to have a surgery, And these things are almost always untrue. Universal, not my opinion, okay? But people don't know what's going on. And I've been given, through prayer, revelation, through just, this is my thing I'm supposed to be doing here, the ability to know these things. Again, universal, that applies to every human on any part of the globe within their own situations, okay? This is truth. So, I get a little bit bold, and I sound like I'm just trying to, like, you know, kind of tear the roof off the place almost sometimes. But people don't want to listen to stuff that sounds too easy, sounds too simple. People feel like they got to work for something harder. They got to spend more money. They got to be taking pills, or they got to be going to doctors. That's what they've been told. So you tell them truth, that things are just as simple as they are, and they are almost like preconceived idea that they're not going to believe it no matter what, right? So you got to kind of sometimes break through people's preconceived ideas, okay? This has to happen to me a lot of times. I pray for that. I'm like, hey, if I'm going into something and I got some kind of idea on how it's going to go before I get there, but it's not actually going to go that way, can you just, like, please take all my beliefs, you know, away from me, as far as, like, don't let me just try to make something what it's not. Okay, that's what I'm talking about here. Because the body is about a position. Last night I was talking with my mom, and I was having her kind of throw things at me, like asking her to. Like, I'm always saying the body's about the skeletal system. Okay, what if I say this to somebody? If you got any questions you can think of, throw them at me. Okay, like, as far as challenge me. Because I'm speaking on universal truth, and I don't want opinions in this. So let's make sure that that's the case. And everything that she was saying, it always came back to, yeah, it's the skeletal system of the body. I never give exercises or stretches, never, not a single one up until today. And I don't plan to today or in the future. I just haven't as of now. I can only speak for what's up until now, right? The way that I'm allowed to do that is because, again, the body is about the skeletal system. And we were talking about it last night, and my mom brought up a good point, where if you break a bone, a lot of times they'll put in like a metal rod in place of your bone. The muscles don't matter if there's no skeletal system for them to move. And I've gone over this because that's all they do. All the musculature of the body does is move the skeletal system. So it doesn't matter how much people work out. It's not going to help anything if their skeletal system is being forcibly, physically, by an exterior source, clothing that we wear, put in a position it just does not operate in. Like when you think about the shoulder joint, it only works in the position it works in. And it does everything from right there. It can't do things from down here. And if your shirt doesn't fit you to where your body will sit where it naturally does, really just meaning if your clothes don't lightly sit on your body without altering them, which is what I allow to happen through what I share and through what my clothing that I'm going to have available to purchase will do from the factory. That's all it is. Same with the hips, right? It doesn't matter how much you work your glutes out if you're wearing pants down below your hips, meaning not all the way up off of the hip bones where they have to be. You can have the most muscle mass in your hips on the earth, in your glutes, I mean, right, or in your quads, and in any part of your body. People work out their quads. I've gone over how you don't need to work out your quads. The muscle of the body, the natural function of the body, is in the posterior chain, in the rear of the body. And I've gone over all this stuff. Again, when I talk about things, it is undisputed universal truth. I don't want to have an opinion in my video. There's no point in me trying to push an opinion. There's no point. It's all truth that I'm talking about. My deliveries, the way that I actually verbally word something might not be exactly like the perfect way to say it, but what I'm talking about is universal truth. So I just want to be very clear on that, because I don't want people getting offended because they have a certain amount of fat content on their body, and I'm saying things that they are hearing as me thinking that their body needs to be skinny, or that if you place your clothing on your body in a certain way then you'll be skinny. No, that is not at all what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, underneath everything, the fat, the muscle, anything within the body, even the organs, they only can do the things because there's a structural skeletal system. And that's all that I talk about. So I want that to be very clear. This is going to be another one of those timeless videos, as I say, with some of my big, hard-hitting videos like this, where it's like a reference video. Come back to this. But you got a problem with what I'm saying from this point forward ever, or even any of the videos that I've already posted, come back to this. Because I'm not talking about people's body shape. It's about the skeletal system as a structural foundation. Okay? So, I think that's all I need to say. I just want to be clear, because I'm not shaming anybody's body for their shape, height, or width, or anything. I mean, I'm not. Even if you know, your feet look a certain way, your hands look a certain way. I'm not shaming anybody's body. I'm not talking about people's body shape, because no matter what shape it is, it just needs a structural foundation to be able to operate, right? For those muscles to be able to move something. Okay? So, this is a shorter video than most of my videos, but it's just a foundational, hey, come back to this. You got a problem with what I'm saying? Cool. Listen to what I'm actually saying. You can hear whatever you want in what I'm saying, but again, I'm talking about universal truth, and you got to hear what I'm actually saying, not what you're getting from it, okay? So, thank you. I'm going to mention my clothing, because I will be designing clothing. It's going to be so minimal to the point we will not have our branding, any kind of logo at all on the exterior of the clothing. We will not, okay? Minimal clothing. The only reason I'm designing clothing is, well, at least here in the United States of America, we have so much of it. Don't really need more here, at least. But it's going to be made out of 100% natural materials, which is amazing for the body, because the body's natural, okay? And it's going to just allow things like the top of the shoulder seams to sit behind the shoulders, the edges of them to sit at the edges, just to allow the natural hinge points and pivot points and things I've gone over in my content to be there. The pant waistline will sit up above the hip bones, slightly higher in the front and in the rear, okay? The only reason I'm designing it is just to allow the body to do what it would naturally do. So when it comes time for it to be available, if you do decide to purchase it, only purchase it, please, in a size that actually fits you. That's the only point. That's the only reason I'm designing clothing, because I've already given all the free modifications that you can do that will apply to every single human within your own clothing. But we just don't want to have to modify things. And that's what my clothing will be. We can purchase it, you can purchase it, I can have it. You know what I mean? I'm just going to be leading the company, so I will just have it. We're just going to be able to get it and use it without having to do any kind of modification. And our bodies will just work within it. We will have energy, at least more than we're used to, because things I've gone over. Go check out my content. Go check it out. You don't have to, but just if you're interested in just the fact that I don't stretch and somehow I'm like very mobile, it's available to everybody within their own situations. And again, it's universal, undisputed truth. It's just you have to understand what's going on, and I give all that for free within my content. So, yes, clothing will be coming, designed by me, Evan Strong. I can't really tell you as of current what like website to look up or what, but if you just need to look me up, look at my name, you'll find it when it comes. Can't guarantee on when that is either, so, but it will, no doubt. It will come. So, anyway, just please hear what I'm saying in my videos. You can freak out if you think that I'm being accusacious or insensitive or whatever it is, but I'm saying what I'm saying, not what people are hearing in those cases, okay? So, and I really do have an immense understanding. That's the biggest thing. An immense understanding of the correlation between clothing and the natural workings of the human body. And it shows. When you go look at my own videos, I mean, I have my feet off in the grass, my shoes off in the grass a lot of the time. My own body, I've been able to get to this point through nothing but the clothing. And again, I describe all this. So just, I don't want people getting offended, because I'm not trying to hurt anybody. But I also don't want people coming at me, because I'm saying what I'm saying, not what you're hearing if you're upset about it, okay? So, universal truth. I'm not sharing opinions, okay? So, thank you. Check out what I've already got. Stick around for clothing. My name is Evan Strong. It's about the skeletal system of the body, not the musculature, not anything else. It's about the foundation and just having it be in its natural position. And that's what my clothing will do with zero modifications. So, it's gonna be awesome. Thank you.